Ladies and gentlemen, I'm John Call from Stories. I'm the business manager. We're going to take 5 minutes, catch our breath, go to the bathroom, get a drink of water, but then we're going to have a talk back. You're more than welcome to discuss whatever you want with the cast. If you can't stay for that, please take a moment to check out our merch table. On that table, you'll see our guest book. If you give us our email address, we'll be more happy to add you to our newsletter so you can see what we're going to be doing in the future. If you are leaving, be very safe, and thank you for coming out and supporting the arts and literature.
Thank you.
We'll see the rest of your conference. Thank you very much.
I knew you were familiar too.
Well, if anyone has any questions or comments or whatever, we'll be glad to try to answer them for you. Don't be shy. Yes,
Was this based on a true?
yes.
Oh, it was?
It's Eddie Jaku, the man, moved to Australia in 1950, and he was born in 1920. When he was 100 years old, he wrote a book called The Happiest Man in the World, the story of an Auschwitz survivor. He died in 2001 at the age of 2021, at the age of 101. And this play was written after his death. It was just adapted from the book. The play is kind of almost like an outline of the book. The book is very detailed, so you couldn't do that on stage. So I guess it is true. And the book is available on Amazon if you want to read about it. Anyone else? Oh, you must have some questions.
Was there anything in the book that you wish had made it to the book?
Yes, many things. That was a planted question, because you heard this the other night. Eddie in the play was the sole survivor of his family. Eddie also had a sister who survived Auschwitz. She's mentioned in the book a number of times, and she moved to Australia also, but we don't know, I can only think of why she wasn't in the play. The play was written after Eddie's death, and so she was the sole survivor of the family, and I seem to think she may have asked not to be included. That's really the only reason I can think of. So that's what I'm going with. And there are a couple other things. Kurt appears in Auschwitz for the first time. In reality, Kurt was, it was like fate. They showed up in the same camps together. They didn't go together, but they would find each other in the camps. In Buchenwald, in Auschwitz, and they were in several camps in between those episodes, and they were always there, found to be there together. So it was almost like fate, when they found each other again at the end. So that I wish would have come out a little more, because they were much better friends than what we could portray in this. Thank you. Anyone else? Yes?
David, not a question, but I found this so shocking. I was talking to a young man yesterday, graduated from high school this year, has never heard of the Holocaust.
That is so disturbing to me. And that is one reason why Eddie did not speak about this for 50 years. His children did not know anything about it. And like he said, like so many survivors, they just don't want to talk about it. They want to forget it, even though they can't forget it. But he finally decided, along with other people, that people must know about it, because the survivors are dying, fading away. No one will remember it. And we can't forget it. It's got to be publicized. And the way people are going now, denying that it ever happened, and oh, don't get me going, because I start.
I'm with you on
But
that.
it's something that has to be done. And it shocks me. That shocks me right there, because what are they teaching them? What are they learning?
I had never heard of the Holocaust till I was in high school. It was actually my bookkeeping teacher who told us about it. He had pictures. He must have been part of the rescue. Showed the incinerators where they were. And I had no clue, and I thought, why weren't we ever told
Well,
this?
I didn't either. I probably was a freshman in high school when I heard about it. I saw pictures in the encyclopedia, I believe, of when the camp was liberated, of these human skeletons. I had never heard of it before. And that's a shame. Now, my wife, and these are two other teachers from her school, Christ the Divine Teacher School, they teach the Holocaust to the 6th, 7th, and 8th grade. And they used to have a Holocaust center in the school, they don't anymore.
It's kind of like,
It's starting back again?
shared with the prayer room.
Since enrollment has grown, we
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
lost room, but yeah.
So, they're trying to, because we have to do it, we have to make a difference in this world. Or otherwise, it was all for nothing.
Can I have a little plug about that? Seton Hill is the National Catholic Center for Holocaust Education. And on September 25th, some of our students are going there. They've received a sapling from the Anne Frank tree, and they're dedicating it on the 25th.
Yeah.
Is that Remembrance Day?
It isn't, I think it's just the day that
Okay.
they have an artist coming.
Because I think last year we were there for Crystal Knot
Yeah, they have that.
service. I don't remember.
Students.
We did the violin thing too one year.
Yeah.
Just to add something, my father fought in World War II, and he did liberate some of the camps, and he didn't want to talk about what he saw. Because it was just so awful.
Well, we had a gentleman here last night, I didn't know their names, whose family escaped Germany to France, and then escaped France to the United States when the Germans were getting close to France. But he was telling us that his father wasn't in the camps, but he never talked about it either. And that was, he just found out just by going through old papers and stuff. He realized what his father did his father worked for the French Resistance. So, and he didn't know about it, so it has to be known.
When I was first married, before I got married, I moved in with my husband, Highland Park, and an Auschwitz survivor owned the house, so we rented from him. His name was Abraham Huberman. When he saw me walking down his sidewalk to go into his house, he almost shit his pants. But when I went down and knocked on his door, we were on the 2nd floor. And they had those old wooden windows in this house where the glass was, and I couldn't see out the damn windows. So I went down and I said, Mr. Huberman, do you have a ladder so I can wash those windows? And he grabbed me down and just hugged me. He said, nobody ever asked to wash my windows. And then we were like this after that. I even took my little girl to visit them when she was born in '85. They lost a child. They brought a child out of Auschwitz. Then they had a little girl in Pittsburgh. And he lived to be over 100.
That was the part that amazed me.
Yes.
Because he went through that Eddie went through that for 7, almost 8 years. And to come out of that and the pictures in the book, to look as healthy at 101 years old, it was just amazing.
Mm-hmm.
So somebody was on his side.
It should never be forgotten.
Yeah, it's been a good experience. Rachel and I have chuckled over this through rehearsal up until pre-show today. It's like we come out and as actors we want to, did you have a good time?
Yeah.
And this is not the moment for that, but it is such an impactful story and such a powerful story. Working with somebody like Dave is always a treat, but to give you all such an impactful hour, it was something special to me. I think I speak for all three of us when I say it.
Anyone else?
How did portraying these people affect you in any way, if at all?
I'm emotionally exhausted every night. I tried to do as much of it from memory as I could, just using the cards as a note, except for the little brain fart I had at the end tonight. But I can't get the words, and I've also been reading the book at the same time, so I can't get the words out of my head. And I'm sure it'll affect me for a while, probably until the next project comes along, and then I can clear my memory banks. But it made me think.
Well, I think you did Eddie proud.
Hmm?
I think you did Eddie proud.
I hope. I'd like to see all the people that were crying today.
I think as far as plays go, this vehicle did a great job at making it real. You know, there's a point in a lot of stories where you slip out of society and custom and culture, and it's just real. And there are a number of points that with these characters that you can feel that. And I think that we expressed it, I can see it in the responses of the audience, that you feel that as well. But that's almost a rarity with a lot of the works that we get. If it's a comedy, if it's a door slammer or something, that's one thing. This has got a whole lot of meat on the bones, you know.
I would much prefer to play in a small venue like this than in a big auditorium or theater, because especially for something like this, because talking directly to the audience, you can see what I can see what I'm saying, how it affects the audience as I'm doing it, and that just fuels me more. And it's very rare that gets to happen, because most times you have stage lights in your eyes and you can see shadows, but you can't really see people's faces, and you don't really talk, you don't break that fourth wall and talk to the audience. So this is a really interesting, nice experience to do that.
David, since I listened to you at the, help me, when you're practicing, rehearsals.
What's Steve always say?
Cheerleaders practice, here people rehearse.
I cried at that one, and now it's in my brain every night when I'm trying to go to sleep.
Then my job is done.
A good story leaves you with something that you're going to carry close to your heart, and I think this is a great example of that. And we've been close to it, but I don't think this is something that we'll put on a shelf. You know, this is something that'll come back and serve as a reminder.
Yeah, then I'll be able to play Eddie as a 101-year-old. That'll be next year. Well, thank you all for coming.
Thank you.
Thank you, it was wonderful.
Everyone have a wonderful, wonderful day. Be very safe on the road. We want to see you back in the house again.